everybody, welcome back. I'm going to be reviewing the latest release from the House of Fortin Manley from here in Australia. It is 40 Thieves. This was released late last year. It currently retails on Lucky Cent for $190 US for a 50ml bottle, and here in Australia $230 for the 50ml bottle as well, in Australian dollars obviously. I'm going to get straight into this. I know there's probably been lots of reviews on this on YouTube and Instagram, but I bought this a while back. I've been testing it and I think I'm ready to give you my thoughts. So I'm going to be spraying, I've got a bit of a dry down happening here on my arm. I'm going to spray the opening here again. I really like the opening to this fragrance. It's my favorite part of the fragrance, and it's because I can pick up all the different notes here. There's a spicy element, there is like a citrusy green element, and there's definitely the strongest note coming through here is incense, and it's smoky. Now with this fragrance, one wish I had is that the opening would last a bit longer. It's actually quite a lovely, I don't want to say unique opening, but there's not many fragrances that got as nice an opening to my nose as this one. The problem is with this fragrance is that it doesn't last, that opening does not last long enough, and once those notes burn off, the incense definitely sticks around and it sort of morphs into this kind of smoky, sweet. There's definitely honey there. There is some resinous material, labdanum I recognise, but what I picked up on this, and I picked up on it the first time I wore it, was that because I've worn at least a few times the whole rest of the line of Fortin Manley. The base, the dry down is, but there's basically an opening and then you go straight into the base. So to my nose, how this works on my skin is that there is no beginning, middle and end. There's a nice beginning and then it goes straight to this base, and the base is kind of, there are elements of it that I've smelled before, and I haven't been able to compare them, but I definitely recognize elements here of Fortin Manley's other two fragrances. It's like a mix between Amber Absolutely and probably Maduro from memory. So there is, you know, if there is a deliberate choice here to have like a house DNA in these scents, then it's definitely happening. So for me, because I've tried those other fragrances, this does not have enough uniqueness or originality for me to consider wanting a bottle of 40 Thieves. Now, I didn't like Maduro and Amber Absolutely enough to want a bottle of those, you know, because the dry down here, you know, it gets a bit sweet. The incense sticks around. There is almost there is something in here that is almost a bubblegummy kind of texture, or not texture, but a bubblegum sweet smell, and I can't shake it off when I'm smelling it. Look, it's not unpleasant, but it's, I want to say, I don't want to say also that it smells cheap, but apart from the opening, the rest of this fragrance for me leaves a lot to be desired. And when you have to make decisions about spending this amount of money on 50 mils, you know, it's definitely a factor. All parts of it need to be quality that you enjoy. For me, this is me making a decision on whether I think this is a full bottle worthy fragrance. Now, if you have already some Fortin Manley in your collection, you might not find this different enough to warrant a purchase. Of course, if you're collecting the line, well, you know, you're going to want it. But another thing to consider here on my skin, and as is the case with the rest of the line from this house, I can pretty much already tell you that within a couple of hours I'm not going to be able to smell what I've just sprayed on my skin. It disappoints me because, again, I expect a bit more at that price point. So overall, there's not a lot of development once you get past the opening in this fragrance. There is a familiarity if you're already familiar with the scents from this house, and it leaves you, it's a bit wanting in my opinion, considering the price point and the market this is trying to aim at. So for me, 40 Thieves is a bit of a miss in terms of me recommending this to anybody. Of course, you should always do what I did, order a sample and try it out for yourself. That's ultimately always going to be the opinion, the advice I give anyone, and I can only tell you what I'm smelling on my skin. But I hope it's given you an idea of what it might be like, whether it's something you might be interested in sampling, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching.